my friends, my name is Piluso. Today I'm going to be creating a new patch on the Arturia Polybrute from zero, and it's going to be in the style of indie bands. So hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and let's get cracking with this amazing synthesizer. So as soon as we turn on the Polybrute, it comes up with this patch that sounds like this. And if we go to our left, we'll find an empty patch where we can build our sound. So the first thing we want to do is turn down the second oscillator and leave the first one on. So like we said, we're going to build an indie sound from the ground up. So if we hear this, it still needs like a lot of movement. So let's start adding things to this sound. First thing I want to do is add the square wave, or actually the pulse. I like that, so let's add the second oscillator now. So we can hear the sound moving because it's an analog synth. So let's add the second oscillator now, square wave as well. So something I really like about this is we have this FM knob right here that allows us to modulate one oscillator with the other, and I love it. So it sounds like that when we push it quite a lot, but let's push it back. It gains so much flavor now. Now that we have this oscillator selector, we're going to choose the upper filter. And like we have two different filters, I'm going to first select the first oscillator. So I'm going to turn down the volume of the second oscillator and choose the upper filter. I'll first start by pulling down the cutoff frequency so it makes it darker. And let's also add some resonance. We can also move from low pass to band pass to high pass. I like this a lot. So let's now turn down the first oscillator and let's work with the filter of the second one, which is a leather filter that works like the Mini Moog. We are only listening to the second oscillator now. We're going to choose some more resonances here and also some saturation. So let's now combine both filters and listen to this. So I'm going to move the VCA envelope which controls the amplifier. So I want to add some sustain, then we're going to put the decay and the attack in 0, and then finally add some release, which will allow me to let go of the note. Let's try a longer release time. So now we're going to add our first LFO, which will allow us to move the sound. So now we go to the mods button and we're going to choose LFO 1 on the matrix. So we're going to press the first button and that will allow us to move the global pitch of the oscillator. So now we're going to select the amount of drift that we want on our tuning. So I want a very low amount of this drift. I want it to sound natural. Let's add a little bit more. Let's also bring down the filters a bit. So I just moved the master cutoff, which controls both filters. So now we're going to choose the rate of the first LFO. So I'm going to put it quite slow now. So I'm going to assign the second LFO to the voice pan, which is located in the number 3. So I'm going to choose LFO 2, number 3, and now I'm going to select the amount. You can really hear how it goes from left to right. Let's choose something subtle. We can also open up the stereo field. So now I'm going to choose the third LFO and I'm going to assign it to the master cutoff. And since the master cutoff doesn't appear up there, so I'm going to choose an empty slot up there so I can choose number 4. And whilst I press it, I can move the master cutoff and it's already selected. So I can go to my LFO 3 and select number 4. This is very easy to use. And with a symmetry knob, we can actually shape the wave that is generating the LFO. So now that everything is sounding so beautiful, we can choose the ribbon that we have up here. I mean, just look at this finish, it's great. And you can see it moving up there as well. So I'm going to choose the ribbon aisle and I'm going to select number 5 and attach it to the master glide. So the glide knob actually tells you how much time it's going to take to go from one note to the next. So when I actually press the ribbon, it's going to move the different notes like that. So as I move towards the right of the ribbon, I'm going to be selecting more glide or less glide. And it's the same as moving just the knob. And the cool thing is that if I don't press the ribbon, I just have the chord. But now if I press the ribbon, I'll have the glide. That's beautiful. So now let's get some effects going on. That they are absolutely delicious, these effects that come with the Arturia Polybrute. So we have the modulation knob, which we can select from chorus to phaser and a whole bunch of other effects. So we are choosing the chorus now. That makes it like really Tame Impala. So now we can actually add some reverb and they sound amazing as well. Let's also add some delay. So let's move the delay time a bit. I like that. Let's also add some feedback. Let's also add some ARP. So I hope you enjoyed this video making an indie sound out of the Polybrute of Arturia. This is a fantastic synthesizer. I really recommend it. It's blowing my mind to have it here in the studio. I have more synthesizers here and this one is really taking the crown. So let me know if there are other sounds that you would like me to recreate from the ground up and I'll be happy to make them. See you in the next video. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content.